helping women with invisible illnesses realize you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself, but what else are you going to do about it? I tell you, I mean, it's those of us of a certain age will remember the old Canon commercials. Attitude is everything, but it is. It truly is. And even as long as I've been dealing with all these health issues, sometimes it just overwhelms me. Chronic illness, especially chronic pain, it can be so consuming. It can be it's depressing. It's depressing as hell. It's exhausting. It's just and it's kind of funny because I used to have a really negative attitude, and now with all these health issues, I'm known as somebody who's really positive. Well, it doesn't come naturally. It's something that I really work on. Although I will say the more I work at it, the easier it gets. But how do you develop a better attitude? This information is from tinybuddha.com. Number one, you have to believe it. It's a choice. Look, you can't control what goes on around you to a very large degree. You can't control what other people are going to say or do. You can't control world events, but you can't. I don't know if y'all can hear my washer. I've got it stacked, and when it gets going, it shakes everything. Anyway, I didn't think about that when I started the laundry this morning. Um, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. It's a choice. It's a choice. You can wake up in the morning. I don't care who you are. You have the same choice that I do. You can wake up in the morning and you can focus on the good things in your life and you can be grateful and you can be in a much better mood. Or you can focus on the bad things in your life and be pissed off all day. Well, what good is that going to do you? Does it change anything? No. So you may as well choose, you may as well make the choice to look at the bright side and to be positive and to be happy. Gratitude, in my opinion, is a huge part of that. Number two, you need to eliminate negativity, especially when it comes to the people in our lives. I have a very simple litmus test for other people. If you don't lift me up, I don't have time, I don't have energy, and I just don't have the patience for you. Take that however you have to. But life is hard enough when you don't have health issues. Those of us who face this battle, the last thing you need is some jackass dragging you down. Look, if it's not somebody that you can gently ease out of your life, you're going to have to set boundaries. You are going to have to set boundaries and you're going to have to stick to them. And I'll tell you what, if you've been a doormat your whole life and all of a sudden you start setting boundaries, people are not going to like that. So you need to be prepared for the pushback, but it's your mental health. So you got to figure this shit out. You just do. You need to look at your own behavior. My friend Jennifer and I were both really pretty upbeat, positive people, but our friendship is close enough that, hey, I can let my guard down and tell you that this is going on and I'm not happy and this sucks and that sucks. Well, we realized one day that most of our conversations had turned really negative. So we made a rule. You can bitch as much as you want. Take all the time you need to get it all off your chest. But you always had to end whatever you were talking about with three positives, three things you were grateful for. And it really, that way we were still able to vent to somebody who understands, but that refocus kept us from getting too sucked up into the negativity. And we wouldn't even really talk about the negative stuff for very long. We would refocus over to the positive, bright stuff. But it's a choice. You know what else is a choice? Tip number three, you have to look for the positive. There are very few situations that are truly hopeless. Okay, chronic illness, chronic pain. I've been dealing with this crap. I'm really trying not to cuss so much, but I've been dealing with this for a very long time. And initially, I was pissed off. I was depressed. I felt like such a victim. Oh my God, why is this happening to me? And then literally one day I was sitting here feeling sorry for myself and boo-hoo, why is this happening to me? And I heard a voice in my head say very clearly, well, why not you? And it was just like, oh, damn, I hadn't thought about it that way, but this is life. And, why not me? I'm not exempt any more than you are. So after that moment, I started really working on my attitude. I can't necessarily control how my body is going to respond to things, but I've learned to mostly, I mean, I'm not perfect, I'm only human. This does overwhelm me sometimes, but mostly I'm pretty good at looking at the bright side. One of the one of the darkest parts of my life was when my aunt passed away. When she passed, it was the closest loss I'd ever had. And I was really, I mean, yeah, I was devastated. We all were. And as hard as that time was, it was also kind of cool because I got to meet and spend time with my cousin's wife. She's an amazing person. They don't live here. I'd met her briefly, but I'd never had a chance to spend time with her. The family gathered as much as we could for everybody being scattered to the winds, but we reminisced and talked about things we hadn't talked about in years. And you know what? Out of all that grief, there were some really beautiful moments that came out of that. Now, would we have rather had Aunt Sissy back? Obviously, but that's not an option. You have to find your silver lining. And if there was a while right after my aunt died when I would get through the day and I would tell myself, you know what I'm the most grateful for today? I don't ever have to experience this day again. You know what? That's something you could be grateful for because, to me, that's still an attitude of hope. Okay, today was not the best, but I don't have to ever experience this day again. Tomorrow's a new day. It's a fresh start. It's a new hope. Number 4, you need to reinforce your own positivity. Don't dwell on your shortcomings. We tend to be really bad about that. Focus on your positive attributes. And sometimes people really struggle. If you're super depressed, it's hard to realize, oh, I don't have any positive attributes. Bullshit. Yes, you do. And if you're struggling to figure them out, ask somebody close to you. You'll be amazed at what they will tell you, and it'll really lift you up. You need to look. We all like to make fun of affirmations, but they've been around for a long time because they work. And I'm not telling you got to go stand in front of your mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful and amazing, but you are beautiful and amazing. So why not? I'll be honest, I'm not very good with those kinds of affirmations, but keep a gratitude journal. Celebrate your wins every day. Look, if you have health issues and you got up today and you made it from the bed to the couch, and it's a really difficult day, you know what? That's a win because you got up. You brushed your teeth. That's a win. And I'll tell you why that's a win. I know some of you heard this story because this is one of my favorites because it's just so mind blowing to me. Um, I asked my friend who was a dental hygienist one time, I said, maybe I should do this, Sue. And she laughed. She said, you couldn't do this job. And I was kind of offended. Like, what the hell do you mean? I'm really good with people. And she said, oh, that's not it at all. She said, but you couldn't do this job because you would be amazed at the number of people who never brush their teeth. No reason. They just choose. They just choose to not brush their teeth. I'm not going to say a lot on that in case you're one of those people. I'll just say it's an interesting life choice. But if you brushed your teeth, that's a win. Did you get your kids out the door with everybody calm and quiet? That's a win. Did you stay home and not beat yourself up? That's a struggle for me. That is really difficult for me. But when I can do that, that's a freaking huge win. You bet your ass I appreciate that on those rare evenings when I look back at my day. You know what? I did it today. But if you don't celebrate your wins, who the hell else is going to celebrate you? You need to learn how to start patting yourself on the back a lot more. Finally, number 5, share your positivity. Attitudes really are contagious. If you're really nice to people, guess what? They're probably going to be really nice to you back. Now, not everybody, of course, but generally speaking, the golden rule applies. Do unto others. Now, I will tell you, even when I haven't been very good at this lately, but when someone's really ugly to you, I'm not telling you to snuggle up and be friends with them. Not at all. But try to be kind to them because honestly, those people, they need the kindness more than the rest of us do. Oh, it's not always easy. It's not always easy to be nice to people like that. But spread happiness, compliment strangers. When you pay sincere compliments to strangers, I think it's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially in an airport because nobody's expecting it. But it's so fun to see people's reactions. And you know what? Sometimes you taking a moment to just be kind, you can turn somebody's day around. I think that's such a cool and powerful thing. Offer to help. You see somebody struggling with their groceries. Hey, can I give you a hand with that? Hey, I know y'all just had a baby. Can I do your shopping for you? There's little things you can. Hey, Mr. Elderly Neighbor, I'm going to town. Can I pick you up something? There's so many small things that you can do to help other people, and that's going to get you out of your own head, and it's going to make you so much happier. Say thank you. I really appreciate what you did for me. That was so kind. Thank you. Or even, hey, I saw what you did for that person. That was really nice of you. Thank you. You will be amazed. People love to be acknowledged. We like people who like us. Taking a minute to just say thank you will do wonders for their attitude and yours. Anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will be back